Here we go again. I mean, this is the truth show, and there's more. Oh, I'm not done yet. Oh, and there's more. Oh, I'm not done yet. I mean, this is the truth show. Oh, yes.
Hi, everyone. Just waiting for more people to come in the room. Yes, I know this live show took people by surprise, but didn't I tell you guys I was going to go live well, it won't be 5 days a week. Just want to point that out. It would not be 5 days a week. Maybe 3 days out of a week. I mean, I do have a life and, things of that nature. So just want to see if anyone's going to come in the room. We have a lot to talk about today. So much crap has been going on with the late Pope Francis and all other stuff. Then things is going on with my channel. It's been crazy, 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 crazy. So I hope you guys are ready for a very entertaining show. Let me know if you guys can hear me in the comment section. I try not to hold the show in the lateness of the hour. I try to get you guys a little early. I was like, let me get them a little early because I'm always getting them really late, So hope you guys didn't mind. Get in the middle here. Okay. Hey, Gianna, how you doing? How's your day? Don't forget to hit that like button, you guys, and share. Queen Chiba, how are you doing? Oh, I guess I should. You guys saw this shirt before, right? I think I wore this shirt before. Hey, Queen Sheba, how you doing? And Tweety, are you new to this channel? I don't think I've ever saw you before. Yes, hit that like button, you guys. Share. I know my channel is hacked. Don't worry, I'm doing something about it. I am. Trust me, I am. So remember, the views are not the accurate views, and the likes and all. You already know the deal. Okay, my shirt, it says, I didn't care yesterday. I didn't give a shit today. I probably won't give a fuck tomorrow. That's what my shirt say. I love these little quirks and sayings and stuff. I love these shirts. I swear, they are so freaking fantastic. Okay, so I'm just going to get started with the show, and then you guys can just catch up. I got it off of, where I get this shirt from? Let me think. Because I got a lot of my little quirk saying shirts from this particular channel. Hold on. Not channel, but I meant to say app. The app that I got it from. Let me see. Not Temu. Where's the other? Was it Wish? Oh, Wish. I got it from Wish. I forgot I used to order a lot of shirts from Wish. I had it for a while. So I got this shirt from Wish. I got quite a few saying shirts from Wish. I saw some really cute quotes and things of that nature from Temu. So I'm going to, order some shirts from Temu as well. Now, for the few of you who are new here, remember, okay, let me just, the new people here. When I look to my left, which is your right, I'm looking at your comments, me on the camera, and I'm kind of operating somewhat of the slideshow. And then when I look to my right to your left, I'm actually looking at the slideshow. So I'll be looking at the videos that I put on the slideshow with you guys. A lot of these videos I have not saw through, so we're going to be watching it thoroughly together. So I just want you guys to know. No, it wasn't my merch. This is a merch that I got it from Temu. I do have merch though. You can find it below, the link below, or I'll link it later. But I do have great merch. Please, and you get 50% off and shipping. I'll hook you guys up. So the price is listed on there. Take 50% off and it's free shipping. Coupon is still valid. Go ahead and, check it out. It's really cool. Yeah. I have hats, I have shoes, I have different sayings and quotes. I designed them myself. So definitely wear the merch, represent. I really appreciate it. I know we're going to be talking about the Pope today too. We're going to be talking about the Pope. And I dive deep into the Popery. So again, just want to say hello, my truth seekers. My name is Keisha and welcome to the Truth Show. In this live show, I will be talking about the latest Trump news. The latest Trump news, the decease of Pope Francis and JD Vance, which some of you may have saw me post on my little community chat that's called Post now, I'm assuming. Then in world news, I will be talking about Pippa kind of ousting Kate Middleton of not actually being sick, among other things that's going on with the Middleton family and Prince William. I'm sorry to put him on a thumbnail. I'll put him on there later. And then I'll be talking about Kanye West and his little thing he had with his cousin back when he was a teenager. I was not expecting that at all. I don't even know how to even respond to that. And then I'll be talking about Justin Bieber Coachella pictures that got people worried and much more. I mean, what is going on with this boy? Before we move any further, here are your warnings. This is a trigger warning. In this video, I may be talking about or showing sensitive material about some subjects or topics that may be disturbing or upsetting or may bring forth some troubling memories, as you read in the description or title. With that said, either end the video now or brace yourself. Aside from that, enjoy. Fantastic. Okay, here is your alleged warning. Please note that this is all alleged. I've never met any of these people. I've deeply researched all of my information. All right, fantastic. Okay. Yes, he did. He really did. That was pretty weird. We'll be talking a little bit about that as well. Okay, so first up, we're going to talk about politics. Politics. Why isn't the thing showing? That's weird. Hold on. Maybe I'll play on the next one. Okay, anyway. We're going to talk about politics. It seems this is nothing new. A lot of you know this is nothing new. Remember, I'm looking over this way. I'm looking at the comment section and the software. So that's why I'm looking at that way. Okay. So just want to let you guys know. Nothing is new in terms of Trump and the tariff thing. It's still the same, still the pause, still his beef with China. Blah, blah, blah. Now, as we know, Trump is sinking America. America's going down in handcart thanks to Trump. He don't give two flying fucks. And the tariffs are the same. However, he did manage to add more money to his net worth. As you saw me post on my community chatter post, I did post that he seems to have added money to his net worth. So his net worth has doubled since he's been in the White House. And Elon Musk apparently is allowed to walk around the White House without any security clearance and more. So he can go into any room that he wants. Who cares? Even probably march in on any live feeds. This is a man who has not went to school, has not got elected by you and I. He has not been elected official. He didn't go to school like some of the other Congress people and the people appointed. He didn't do any of those things. So it's still a little bit puzzling how this man who is not an elected official have so much power and clearance. Actually, it's not because I know why he has so much power and clearance. I think we talked about that already. He rigged the election. So he kind of bought Trump. So Trump owed him the election and everything else he got going on here. So Trump has no other choice but to kiss his ass. So that's why he has so much security clearance and things of that nature. Oh, yeah. Now, I got some videos. My girl Jasmine Crockett went in on Elon Musk and all the little shady business that's been going on in the White House. Oh, yeah. I got it. Here's the videos.
Ms. Crockett.
Thank you so much. And Mr. Dudero, I'm going to pick up where my colleague left off by number one, thanking you for your service. Even though, I don't really know if they would have been trying to push you out too, because it seems like anybody that knows what their job is
Me
gets pushed
too.
out. So congrats on your retirement, and I'm hoping that you have sunnier days ahead. But Ms. Talib just went through a series of things that she feels like this is other than efficiency. And I have a term for what I believe is going on. I think it's just downright cruel. I think that you have people that literally do not have a heart. They're telling us that, oh, no, we're going to run the federal government like a business. Well, let me talk to you about the people that are allegedly running this business, because the federal government ain't a business. But let me clarify. If it was, I don't want it run like the president has run businesses. The president, it's my understanding, has filed bankruptcy 6 times. We don't have that luxury in the United States of America. But even when we start to think about Elon Musk, right now, as it relates to Tesla, the sales are down. As it relates to X, he has never made a profit since he bought X. In fact, the value of X is 75% lower than it has ever been. So if I am going to go look for somebody to run a business, I'm going to look for someone who is going to run one successfully. And before people start screaming and yelling about, well, he's a billionaire. Yeah, when you know the right people and they'll just give you money, then you can become a billionaire too. And maybe one day all of us will have that kind of access. But until then, I want to talk about the fact that congressional Republicans, again, as it's been stated, they don't care about government efficiency no more than they care about government services and programs that constituents rely on. And just like Elon is hiding from this committee, Republicans are now hiding from their constituents. Under the current Republican budget proposal, 166,000 people in the chairman's district could lose their Medicaid benefits, including more than 70,000 children. The same for the chairwoman of the DOGE subcommittee. Under the current budget proposal, 120,000 people in her district could lose Medicaid benefits, including 75,000 children. This is what efficiency looks like to Republicans, selling out their own constituents to pass tax cuts for their billionaire donors and friends. And rather than taking GAO's recommendations and discussing how Congress can help make federal employees and agencies more efficient, effective, and supported, they're firing probationary federal employees, which again, in my opinion, has led to planes actually falling out of the sky. But nevertheless,
Facts.
just crazy, because no one has been more unproductive than the Republicans on the Oversight Committee. Nevertheless, Mr. Dodaro, of the 38 high-risk areas in GAO's 2025 report, more than half are due in part to staffing or skills gaps, which you've already discussed. In your written testimony to the committee, you stated, quote, when we have seen progress on high-risk issues, it has typically involved 3 essential elements: congressional action or oversight, commitment from top leaders at agencies, and active involvement by the Office of Management and Budget. In your opinion, has Congress done enough to ensure the mass indiscriminate purging of federal workforce doesn't, quote, impede the government from cost effectively serving the public and achieving desired results? Yes or no?
Well, I talked before about telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Sometimes it's not a yes or no. I think Congress should get more engaged and proactive in this area. I've always encouraged administrations in the past to consult Congress in making some changes. Many of these things deal with laws that Congress passed, and I think Congress needs to get more active. I
agree. We need to do our constitutional duty, which is to conduct oversight. So again, I'm inviting Elon or anybody else that's a member of DOGE to come through and we can have a conversation. In fact, I am not aware of any recommendations that really go beyond just cutting those services that people need. There's not been any talk about cutting any of Elon's contracts, though. Not a one. Not that I'm aware of. Maybe you're aware of it, but you are aware that Elon has been getting money from the federal government for a number of years, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And it's my understanding that he has not made a recommendation to cut any of his money as we are trying to save money and save this country. At the end of the day, what I am going to say is that we had the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration open 5 investigations on Tesla for complaints of unexpected braking, loss of steering control, and crashes while cars were in self-driving mode. And Tesla tried to block at least 2 rulings from the National Labor Relations Board punishing Elon for tweeting that factory workers would lose stock options if they joined a union. This is a problem.
A big problem.
Can you at least tell me that you agree, that you understand what a conflict of interest is, and that Elon
I am well aware of what a conflict of interest is, and we've been asked by the Congress to take a look at this situation, and we will.
Well, I appreciate that. And with that, Mr. Chair, I will yield. I'm gonna try my best not to preach.
Preach, girl.
I just want to say thank you Because every day that we show up in DC, we show up for you. We know who we work for. We know that we work for the American people. And what we're not going to do is...
Oh, I should have got the whole speech, but I didn't. Okay, in this particular clip, well, just listen.
To make one thing clear, this hearing isn't about efficiency. This hearing is about Elon Musk. A few Republicans blinked. Some smirked. We've got a man who thinks building a car with doors that open like wings qualifies him to lecture Congress on corruption.
Mm-hmm.
She pulled a printed screenshot from her folder. Elon's tweet, bold and smug. Yeah, you posted this, right? You see me making $174,000, and suddenly you're Inspector Gadget. Newsflash. Public servants don't have rich uncles funding our dreams. We don't start with emerald mines. She didn't stop. Her voice rose like a speeding elevator. As for Tesla, sales are down.
Mm-hmm.
As for X, he's never made a profit. I mean, yeah, he's a billionaire. But when people just hand you money, anyone can be the room titan.
Facts. Yes. Facts. Now, I know some of this is probably new to some of you, but she brings up a good point, okay? I don't know why people are thinking Elon Musk is a great businessman and he should be running that DOGE, because he shouldn't be. Oh, girl, heck yeah, if Obama would have done any of this, they would have lynched him. They would have called him every racist slur among whatever. It would have been just seriously anarchy. Absolute freaking lutely. And hi, Alicia, I did to you. Yes, it would have been crazy. Let me put that up there. Hell freaking yes, it would have been crazy. Mm-hmm. And I follow her YouTube too. She is the truth. I'm telling you, she's the truth. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Now, what she is bringing up, the point that she's bringing up is that we are definitely needing to become very serious. The Congress, you're trying to get the Congress to become very serious on why Elon Musk have so much clearance and what is he doing here. Because most investors are not as active. How did he get a seat in a DOGE? So no one's questioning that narrative. No one's questioning that. And she's bringing up like, this is not protocol. This is not even what the fuck is going on here? This man is able to walk around the White House. He's in a DOGE. He's all in everyone's business. And he's not even a good businessman. He's not. He's never been. Him and Trump have literally had financial woes. Yes, they had, a decent woe where they became billionaires or whatever. But in terms of a good progress record, they have not have. And so far, Elon Musk's track record is not good. Even prior to him basically donate to Trump to get into the White House. Yes, he did rig the election. Absolutely freaking literally. And I've said that several times to people. When people are dumb, he rigged the fucking election. He's sure the fuck did. Absolutely freaking literally. Hell yeah. Yeah. And they need to talk about that. They need to get him out of there because he's literally in a DOGE and he have access to all our social security numbers, all our social security cards, our federal income. He can do whatever he wants. He claimed that he's getting rid of all these little dummy accounts that's been up there for hundreds of years. He could be embezzling our funds. He could be doing all of these illegal things and no one's saying shit. So this has to stop. They need to take this very seriously, for real. All right, here's some more news here.
Hold on to your hats, folks. What just went down in that live TV appearance was more dramatic than a reality show meltdown. Jasmine Crockett, Democratic representative, absolutely tore into Elon Musk and Donald Trump with the precision of a verbal flamethrower. And let me tell you, the sparks flew so high, you could practically see Trump and Musk's hairpieces flying through the air like they were caught in a hurricane. It all started innocently enough, with Crockett throwing down some cold, hard truth about Elon Musk. She made it crystal clear that the Democrats weren't backing down on calling out the Tesla CEO, no matter how much he tried to dodge their fire. She even dropped a bombshell. She wasn't just talking about Musk because, "We think you're stupid." She was exposing his shady business dealings, specifically his controversial moves with the money flowing through various organizations and agencies. And then, the kicker. She brought up the fact that Musk's actions were directly tied to people literally dying because of the way he manipulated funds. At this point, the atmosphere was electric. Musk, clearly unprepared for this level of direct confrontation, was probably scrambling to draft another one of his infamous Dogecoin tweets. But Crockett wasn't having any of it. She didn't just call him out for his shady behavior. She roasted him for sending condoms to Gaza, all while he parades around like a billionaire with a Cayman Islands account and a Twitter tantrum to match. Enter Donald Trump, who was left so stunned by Crockett's ruthless takedown that he literally couldn't keep it together. The man who once proclaimed, "I alone can fix it," suddenly looked like a Groundhog Day villain explaining his endless bankruptcies. Trump's mind was racing. Was he still thinking about his golf course bankruptcies? Or maybe he was distracted by a more pressing issue, his Cayman Islands account. Either way, his reaction was a meltdown of epic proportions. Meanwhile, Musk was not faring much better. Crockett's verbal assault hit harder than a Jurassic Park-level chaos scene. She didn't just call him out on his policies, but on his complete disregard for reality. Her words were like a truth missile aimed straight at his ego. "Your Tesla's on fire, Elon. Your rockets may be cool, but your policies are disasters." The internet erupted. People couldn't get enough of Crockett's savage takedown. Late-night hosts had a field day, mocking Trump's and Musk's feeble attempts to
I'm glad someone confronts him. Here's her confronting him some more.
Forensic audits. In fact, he sat there in the Oval Office yesterday and he admitted that he was lying and he was using his propaganda machine to do it when he said that we sent millions of dollars to Gaza for condoms. That was like.
And let's be real. This wasn't your typical Capitol Hill exchange filled with awkward pauses and dry monotone lectures. No, this was Crockett in full-on scorched earth mode, dropping facts like meteor strikes and turning Elon's entire tech genius persona into a parody of itself. He's so quick to preach about free speech on X, yet suddenly forgets how to speak when it's time to answer real questions.
You know, the lack of cohesiveness on that side is why this has been the most unproductive Congress. People all over X and everything is like, well, they don't deserve anything. They're so unproductive. Let me tell you, the people that y'all keep putting in charge are the reason that we are unproductive, because they don't understand how to govern. And honestly, they don't even have a will to govern. And the fact that they are allowing somebody who basically is a shadow president to come out and tell them what to do, including Donald Trump, because listen, we know that Elon, as they have touted about how they need to get rid of the immigrants, let me be clear, Elon cannot become president of the United States.
The irony? For a guy obsessed with transparency, he sure runs faster than a self-driving Tesla headed for a lawsuit. Crockett didn't just confront him. She obliterated the myth of Musk, piece by embarrassing piece, and made it clear no amount of followers can shield you from the truth. But let's not act like Elon is standing alone. Oh no, our favorite part-time tech overlord and full-time chaos merchant has a BFF, a political twin flame, and his name rhymes with Ronald Rump.
Unbelievable.
Musk thought he was strolling into a casual
And yes, I still do read cards.
event until Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett turned it into his personal roast session. 1 minute he's tweeting memes, the next he's sweating bullets while Crockett hits him with more truth than a Wi-Fi outage during a SpaceX launch. What did she say that had Elon looking like he just got banned from his own app? Buckle up, because this wasn't just a confrontation, it was a full-blown public tech smackdown.
We've heard a lot about the fact that Democrats have been talking about Elon Musk. And let me give you a news alert. We're not going to stop talking about him. We're going to keep talking about him until he is out of here. Now, if he wants to be elected or appointed and confirmed to something, then so be it. But as of right now, we have somebody that for whatever reason, I don't know if y'all just trying to play in our face because you think we're stupid, or if you literally just cannot see the difference in a George Soros and a Bill Gates.
Before we move on, smash that like button and subscribe, because you know you don't want to miss out on this one. 1 minute, Elon Musk is tweeting memes and clapping back at high schoolers with his billion-dollar thumbs, and the next he's ducking congressional subpoenas like someone just threw a Tesla recall notice at his head.
Yep.
Yes, the man who wants to launch humanity to Mars can't even launch himself into a chair in front of Congress without breaking into a cold sweat.
Because you don't know what he's talking
Because
about.
Representative Jasmine Crockett rolled up with more firepower than SpaceX and absolutely torched him right to his smug, emerald mine-owning face.
If
Mm-hmm.
you were trying to conduct audits and figure out where the waste, fraud, and abuse is, I don't know why you would go to some tech guy. In fact, it was only techies that were sitting there at inauguration. We didn't have auditors. I would welcome auditors to come.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. I agree with her 100%. Yes, the space thing was fake as hell. I didn't even want to get into that whole little shtick. I was like, I'm not even getting into that because I don't have the strength to get into that. Yes, but that space thing was completely freaking fake. Mm-hmm. Yes. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Tanya. How you doing? How you doing? Completely fake. Oh, me too. So here's the thing. Elon Musk, people think Elon Musk is some tech gadget computer genius. No, he is not. And I keep telling people, he is not a genius. He's just an investor. Him, Bill Gates, who's a genocidal maniac, they are investors. They are not Mark Zuckerberg, who know coding, who actually coded his first app, Facebook, as some college project or something that just took off. They're not Mark Zuckerberg. They don't know coding. They don't know any of those fucking things. They just great investors. That's it. So people are elevating them to geniuses. I had, ladies and gentlemen, someone actually compared him to Gothoff. I'm like, are we fucking like he's the inventor or the knowledge bringer bringing us into the future? I'm like, the hell to the fucking no. No. Just no. Absolutely. I know. Seriously, that's what we're doing. No, he is not. Elon Musk is just an investor. Okay. And the reason why he has so much clearance is because, again, he rigged the election. Let's go ahead and put that back up there. Who said that? Who said that? Yeah. Gianna. Yeah. He rigged the fucking election. We're going to keep that up there for a second until I'm done with this particular section here, because that is the fucking truth. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and save that right quick, because it's the fucking truth. He rigged election. Yeah. Uh-huh. That's what the fuck you did. Mm-hmm. You sure did. Moving right along here, because you know I got more tea for you. Okay. It seems like Donald Trump has been vocal about his dissatisfaction with Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. Now, this is particularly regarding the interest rate policies. You see, Trump recently criticized Powell on social media, calling him Mr. Too Late and a major loser. This is what he called his colleagues, the people whom he hired or accepted for certain positions in his cabinet. He's calling them out their name. This is supposed to be the president of the United States, and this MF is calling people out of their names, calling him Mr. Too Late and a major loser, and urged him to lower rates immediately. Now, don't let me finish it, because you guys will think, oh, he lowered rates for tariffs. No, absolutely freaking no. The changes has sparked concerns about the Fed's independence and has even led to speculation about whether Trump might attempt to remove Powell from his position. See, if he doesn't, because you got to understand, if you don't do what Trump says, he will fire you. Okay? That's quote unquote Trump. If you don't do what he can say, you are gone. You are gone. Who are you? You know what I'm saying? That's Trump. I keep forgetting to put these up here for some reason. I need to stop doing that. I keep forgetting to do that. So I need to put that back up there. Yeah. Stop doing that. Anyway, but like I was saying, okay, so yes, Powell wasn't doing what he says. So Trump is like, I want to fire you. It's over. It's over. You're fired. I want to fire you. The disagreement seems to stem from Powell's stance on tariffs and their potential economic impact, which he believes could lead to higher inflation and slower growth. So Powell's like, we need to discuss this because your intake on this tariff thing is causing inflation to go higher and slower growth in our company. You keep saying you want us to move further into the future and be more independent, even though we was one of the richest countries, but now we're just, clowns. But that's not what's happening. So it led to higher inflation, slower growth. Trump comments have also caused significant market reactions, with major indices like Dow and NASDAQ experiencing sharp declines. Those are the main to stock brokers, so to speak. You see, Trump is the one pushing for the lower interest rates, but it's not the lower interest rates for tariffs, though. Powell want him to end the tariff things, but Trump want to lower interest rates on something else, but not the tariffs. He already put a pause on it for temporarily, but he still got the battle with China. So don't get it twisted here. See, Jerome Powell, as the Federal Reserve Chair, has been cautious about making drastic changes to rates, especially given concerns about inflation and economic stability. But that's for the tariffs, but he's talking about something else. Trump want to lower rates for something else. Trump criticizes them from his beliefs that Powell's approach is too conservative and is hindering economic growth. It's classic clash of perspectives on monetary policy. But again, do not get it twisted. It's not about tariff. Trump has actually been increasing tariffs, as we know, on import goods, imports from various countries, including China, as part of his trade policy. So it's still a trade war between him and China. Recently, he announced a 90-day pause, as I stated, on some of these tariffs, but others remain in effect, like 10% baseline tariff on all imports and higher rates for specific goods for steel and aluminum. But that money that he's collecting for the extra 10% is not going into the country. It's going in his pocket, and probably now Musk pocket enriches the rich homeboys. Now, Jerome Powell's caution approach to interest rates is more about balancing economic stability and inflation rather than directly benefiting any specific groups. But Trump criticism of Powell stems from his belief that lower rates, but it will boost economic growth for his buddies, for his investors. So he wants to lower rates for his investors. He don't want a certain class of people to have to pay the higher rates. So for businesses and investors, it's in that little high bracket in terms of rich and wealthy, whoever, I don't know, have an annual income of maybe 1 billion, whatever, 1 million, whatever rate he said he would have lowered the rates for his wealthy homeboys. Powell's like, no, we need to keep it stable. We need to keep it aligned. We need to keep it even, because right now we really are on the brim of economic collapsing. But Trump is like, no, I want you to lower the rates for me and my business. I don't think we should play these higher rates. We should not do this. Me and my rich homeboys want to get paid, so you need to lower the rates for us. I don't give a fuck about them people. No. I'm concerned about my people, Mr. Powell. So this is the beef that's going on between Trump and Powell. Powell's like, no, we cannot do that. First, you need to lower the rates completely, because that's fucking ridiculous. Okay, but I am not going to just say if you're in a higher tax bracket or lower tax bracket, or if you make a certain amount of money over 500 million or whatever the fuck you want to put it up there, you don't have to pay these high tariff rates. It should be an exception or an exemption or some kind of, I don't know, class direction or division between social class and monetary gain, which means he wants to break it apart where his rich homeboys have lower tariff percentage rates, tax brackets, and the rest of the people continue paying high tax brackets. That's what the fuck Trump wants to do. So he can continue to put money in his pocket, and his homeboys and his rich homeboys are not in his ear like, these rates drive me crazy. I'm going broke, Trump. I'm going broke, Trump. Powell's like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. No. Okay? So he's blocking anyone despite financial class. He's like, I'm not doing that. Despite financial class and more differing philosophies on monetary policy. Trump, again, is only concerned about his money and his billionaire friends' money. Well, primarily himself, because he don't give a fuck about his billionaire friends anyway, because they're losing millions and billions of dollars. Elon Musk is going to be broke by the end of fucking, I say by fall, he keep this up, but whatever. But considering he have access to the DOGE, maybe he'll just start embezzling like Trump, because he's gotten very richer since being president and since, these tariffs. Trump has gotten richer. Remember, I put on my post, on my community post, the Trump network has doubled since he's been president. So that's what's going on him, Powell. So he wants to fire Powell because Powell won't do what the fuck he say. He won't lower the interest rate for his homeboys. So he wants to fire Powell and get somebody else in there that would do what the fuck he say. You do that, I guarantee you be in jail because that's illegal. You will be in jail. Just like all the rest of his cabinets from his last term end up getting indicted, you will be in jail too. Elon Musk will be freaking transported or deported, whatever the fuck you want to call it. He will never be in freaking America or allowed in America again, and he'd be broke. Again, if he do not come clean and he rigged the election, he will be broke. But you know what? They so used to getting away with so much shit, they feel they shit don't stink. And like, while we're on that goddamn subject, let's go ahead and talk about that a little bit, because I do have some shit to say about that too. Okay, as we know, J.D. Vance and Pope Francis. Remember, J.D. Vance is the same Looney Tune, and I'm reading verbatim that I pretty much post on my community chat. I don't even know what the fuck to call it anymore. Okay, remember, J.D. Vance is the same Looney Tune who called Chinese people peasants. Oh, and quick note, again, I'm repeating verbatim from what I posted on my community chat that they call post. I don't know what the fuck they call it. My channel is so fucked up. I don't know what's real and what's not. So you see Vance converted to cat. Oh yeah, Trump is definitely, he wants to be a dictator. He wants to be a king. That's what he wants. He wants to be a king, basically. He wants to be a king. Tanya, yeah. Yeah. So Vance converted to Catholicism in 2019. He feuded with Francis shortly after becoming vice president over the Trump administration deportation plans. See, here's the thing. Since Vance has been elected vice president, he's been acting like his shit don't stink. He's been acting like he's the shit. He's been rude to Kamala. I don't know what the fuck wrong with this man, but he went from just being a normal, whatever political person who occasionally spew hate comments about Trump, because he did, and whatever he feel about whatever policies, and that's it. And since then, since being elected vice president, he has been rude and uncouth and acting like he's above everyone else. And he has no respect for anyone. He don't give a fuck who you are. He definitely don't have respect for women, and he didn't have respect for the late Pope Francis either, even though he pretty much converted over Catholicism back in 2019 before being elected as Trump vice president. Okay, so he was on kind of a smooth path here, and then once he got over to the dark side, which is I'm the shit, my shit don't stink, I'm a king, he went from that to everyone is beneath me kind of thing. So that's what the fuck J.D. Vance is at this current moment. He's acting like a real pompous, you know what. So Trump administration's deportation plans, which the Pope had called a disgrace. Pope Francis really do not like Trump and Vance. He made that abundantly clear. He don't like any policy that they're on right now. He think they are barbaric. And J.D. Vance knew that prior to going in to see him. Remember, J.D. Vance is dirty. He's dirty and he's rude as fuck. The only difference between him and Trump is that J.D. Vance is actually lucid and probably in better health than Trump is, which would make him even more threat than Trump. Now, I knew that Pope Francis' death report was going to come back as a stroke or some heart failure, and I should have posted those thoughts, but Keisha stepped in and wanted to be somewhat neutral. But here's the news. Before we dive deep into the theories of the late Pope Francis and so on, here are his last words. Here's his last words, and I'm going to read them out here because he's speaking in another language here, okay? He said, I continue to receive very serious unarmed civilians and subjected to bombings and shootings. And this even happened inside the parish complex of the Holy Family, where there are no terrorists but families, children, sick, and disabled people, nuns, and mother and her daughter, Mrs. Nahida Khalil Anton, and her daughter, Samar Kamal Anton, were killed and other people injured by the IDF snipers while going to the restroom. This is his last words. The convent of the Sisters of Mother Teresa was damaged and their generator was hit. Some say it's terrorism. It's war.
E
Yes,
la
it's
guerra.
war. It's terrorism.
Sì, è la guerra, è il terrorismo. Per questo
This is why
la
scripture
scrittura-
states that God makes wars cease. He breaks bows and breaks spears. That's what he says. That little whole quote about God breaks bows and breaks spears. He also calls wars, but whatever. That's a whole nother theory. But that these was his last words. He was calling out the terrorists. He was calling out the violence against the women, the children. He was calling out all kinds of shit before his alleged stroke and alleged heart failure, despite his past health issues that conveniently happened after JD Vance fucking visited him. And I should have typed what I felt, but I was like, no, I'm going to be sensitive because some people praise the Pope, and I have a lot of religious people follow me. I'm not sure why, but I'm glad. I love all of you, regardless of your religion. But so I was going to be, somewhat respectful. But Kiki was definitely seeping through like, fuck all of them and just speak your truth. That's what she was saying in my head consistently. But I overpowered her. I shouldn't have, though. Okay, remember, Pope Francis, the 266th leader of the Catholic Church, passed away earlier today at the age of 88, as we know, 88. Okay, and 88, that number means something. I'll get into that later. His death followed a prolonged battle with respiratory illnesses, including pneumonia. He had pneumonia at the time, but he definitely suffered from pneumonia in the past. And he's known for his humility and progressive views. He was the first pope from Latin America and often challenged traditional norms within the Vatican. Like, he was accepting gays, he was accepting transgenders, he was accepting all people of the walks of life. He was really moving forward to the modern day age. A lot of people in the religious aspect did not like that, especially Trump and Vance. They didn't like that. What Trump did, Vance later on hopped on because he nothing but a fucking sheep and a kiss ass. But he, probably didn't care about that either prior to being Trump's vice president. His leadership emphasized outreach to marginalized communities and interfaith dialogue. And he disliked Trump administration and JD Vance, and I couldn't say that enough. But it's not just that. It's what his death means for our history and the transition to the age of Aquarius. His death means something to this age of Aquarius. Remember, it was prophesied that he will be the last pope, and the next pope will bring judgment. Actually, they called the next pope judgment. And within the next 2 years will be the downfall and the destruction of the Vatican and pretty much Roman Catholicism. But that's a whole nother theory. Here are a few videos that's going to break down what has been prophesied following the death of the late Pope Francis. I hope you got your popcorn because it goes very, very deep.
Pope Francis died today, but what happens next has been prophesied for centuries, and it's terrifying. The Prophecy of the Popes is a book that was found in the Vatican archives. It predicted every pope from the year 1143 all the way to Pope Francis. But here's the dark part. After Pope Francis, the prophecy just ends with 2 words, Judgment Day. But here's where it gets scary. Inside St. Paul's Basilica, along the walls of the inner sanctuary, there are portraits of every pope in history. But there are only a limited number of spots made for these portraits, and right now there's only 1 spot left after Pope Francis. People have always said that once the last slot is filled, it will mark the end of the world. In the prophecy, the time between the first pope listed and the halfway point was 422 years. The prophecy says that from the middle pope to the last one would be another 422 years. The middle pope was in the year 1585, and if you add 422 years to that, you get the year 2027. There's also something Pope John the 23rd reportedly said, that the end of the world would come 2,000 years after Christ's life. If you count Jesus' life as around 27 years, that also points to 2027.
Well, supposedly Jesus died before his 33rd birthday, but that has always been debated, so I'm not sure about the year count that he did there, but take a listen to this.
There's an ancient prophecy that claims Pope Francis will be the final pope before the end of the world. And now that he's gone, we may have just crossed the line into something irreversible. In the 12th century, a Catholic bishop named St. Malachi wrote a series of prophecies. He predicted 112 popes from his time until the world's final judgment. Each one was described in cryptic Latin phrases. And everyone, shockingly, aligned with a real historical pope. The 112th and final name on the list, Peter the Roman. According to the prophecy, during his reign, Rome will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge the people. Here's the twist. Pope Francis is the 112th, the final name, the last pope. But here's where it gets darker. Pope Francis wasn't born Peter, but his birth name, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, and his parents, Italians from Rome, literally Peter the Roman. So the prophecy wasn't wrong. It was just hidden in plain sight. Now imagine this. The prophecy said the final pope would oversee the collapse of Rome. And with his death, the final phase begins. The Vatican is already falling into silence. Unexplained blackouts, documents sealed. So, now that the last pope is gone, what's next? A new pope or the beginning of the end? Comment prophecy if you've heard of this before.
Nostradamus may have predicted the death of Pope Francis. Catholics around the world are in mourning as Pope Francis has passed away at the age of 88, following a battle with pneumonia. But now, Nostradamus' 16th century prophecy is grabbing headlines. In his book Les Prophéties, the French astrologer predicted the death of a very old pontiff, followed by a new pope who would weaken his seat. Many believe this signals a major shift in the Catholic Church's global influence. Nostradamus even hinted at the next pope, a young man of dark skin, aided by a great king. The conclave to choose the new pope will begin in about 2 weeks.
So 2 weeks they're supposed to vote in a new pope. That's what they're claiming. In 2 weeks, they are claiming they are going to try to vote in a new pope. However, the prophecy is saying something else. The prophecy is saying that the next pope will, you know what? Let me just play the next videos now. I don't want to give away too much. I really don't. This lady here breaks it down in theory. But before I play her, they said the next pope is supposed to be a Negro, a black man. And he's supposed to watch the destruction or oversee the destruction of Roman Catholic and the Vatican, which means more people would start questioning Christianity, which coincidentally brings in the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius is free thinking, feminism, and spirituality. Now, the church and the Bible calls this the end of the world and the end of times because it's the end of their era, the Pisces era. And it's supposed to be, and they're saying Trump's supposed to be the last president. Trump is the last Republican president, not the last president. But listen to what she has to say.
So you've heard the prophecy about Trump being the last president, right? And you heard the prophecy about Pope Francis being the last pope. So what is up with this last president, last pope thing? I'm not one to believe in the end times, but all we hear about are prophecies about the last president, prophecies about the last pope, Armageddon, the apocalypse. Both do not mean the end of the world. They mean the beginning of the new world. So when I see different people like Saint Malachi, Nostradamus, and everybody else that is a prophet, Baba Vanga, Dolores Cannon, there is not one person that did not prophesize the Antichrist, Jesus returning. It's like the serpent that is biting its tail off. It's the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. But this is the thing. These are all different people in all different eras saying these things. Once or twice, I believe you when you say it's a coincidence, but I'm seeing dozens and dozens of patterns here. So let's talk about what's going to happen now that the Pope just passed away. The St. Malachi prophecy says that he was going to be the last Pope. It coincides with Nostradamus' prophecy about the 7 hills burning. 7 hills in the city will be destroyed. What city has 7 hills? Well, the Vatican City. If we go back in time, who's the Vatican? Who is the Catholic Church? It's the Holy Roman Empire. So the Holy Roman Empire is finally collapsing. Saint Peter, the apostle of Jesus, was the first pope. He was also crucified like Jesus, but he was crucified upside down. In fact, the upside down cross is the cross of St. Peter. The prophecy of St. Malachi says that the last pope is Peter of Rome. This is a full circle prophecy now. He says that there will be 112 popes before the last judgment. But it doesn't mean the end of the world. It means that after the 112th pope, Pope Francis that just passed away, there's going to be a period of anarchy. And this will lead to the downfall, the demise of the Roman Catholic Church. But in reality, it's the demise of the Holy Roman Empire.
And she's right. It's a demise for the Holy Roman Empire. And it's also the transition to the age of Aquarius. Remember, it is not the end of the world. It marks the end of the Pisces era, the beginning of the Aquarius era. Okay? That's what it is, which may indicate a decline in Christianity and shift towards free thinking and spirituality. Oh, and it also means, and I can say this enough, it also means the last Republican president. As I said in the video that I did about Trump and many other videos about all of this. You're absolutely right, Tanya. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, Babylon has fallen. It's going to fall. So the next pope that they're going to elect, supposed to allegedly be a black man, and this black man is, well, him being a black man probably bring nothing but criticism anyway, but he's going to oversee the destruction of the Vatican and Roman Catholic Church, which means a lot of truths about religion is going to go rampant. And I'm going to be one of those people telling you the truth about religion, because it's time to wake my people up. Seeing all these people follow into the demise of Christianity and dropping to your knees and praying to the religion that got forced upon you that makes them even more powerful, it breaks my heart, because I'm thinking, wow, they don't even know the power within themselves. They're on their knees praising nobody, you know, because this religion was forced. They didn't allow the slaves to leave or learn anything other than the Bible. You don't find that suspicious. And they made them learn that. It's either you do that or you die. You either learn this religion, you praise this Jesus, or you die. Even when they trying to cast out demons, they put the cross and put holy water on you and make these demons who are spilling so much tea about other entities and other realms and other spiritual dimensions and spilling so much truth and have all this power. They immediately put these individuals and these demons, or not jinns, but demons, into the religious spell. They put the cross on you and they say in Jesus' name, and they put the holy water on you. Those are spells. The demons become rattled and then they fade away. And the person, that the body that they inhabited, becomes right back under that spell. That's what it is. Religion is witchcraft. They force our people to learn religion. They force our people to praise Christianity because it makes them powerful. It makes God Almighty powerful. The ancient deity, who I preached to you guys several times over, who you're in your prayers name, he's God Almighty. He's an Anunnaki ancient deity. Okay, all right, yeah. Who went in with some of the Roman leaders to say, I give you these new age weapons, I do this and that, but make sure people end their prayers in my name. Jesus was not the savior of God. He was a messenger. He was trying to teach you that heaven is not up, it's not down, it's within you. It's within yourself. First of all, his name is Yeshua. Okay, J wasn't even in the language, but whatever. And Christ is a consciousness, not a person, but they made you think it was a person because they took the popularity that Yeshua, aka Jesus, had and brought it into their own power, brought it into their own teaching so they can control the masses more. That is the truth. This teaching is not fake. It is real. That is the truth. So the more you praise this, person that they made up, well, they didn't make him up, but they made him elevated than what he was. The more and basically more powerful the church becomes, and the more enslaved we become, and the more weaker we get, which means Trump's will be very much powerful, because even though Trump is not religious, but he relies on religious people to get them to follow his bidding. He knows how powerful religion is, so he used that as a propaganda to get people to fall in line with him. He don't give a fuck about it. He don't even believe in Jesus. He only believes in himself. Remember, he wrote his own Bible, which is supposed to be blasphemy. He called himself a God. He said God sent him. He's the God. He's the prophet. This is what Trump said. But people think that he's religious. He's not religious. He goes against religion. He don't believe in religion. He only believes in his goddamn self. And that's the fact. The more you pray to their God and their made-up God, Jesus don't want you praying to him. He wants you to learn from him, not pray to him. He was a messenger. He's not divine. They made him divine. He went from saying that I am the Son of Man to I am God and all this other stuff. No, he's not that. He's a messenger. The power is within you. Christ-like energy is a Christ-like energy just above. It's just below God consciousness. So it's Christ consciousness, which have you have the ability to turn water into wine, to walk on water, and have all of these, powerful powers, or so to speak. You have those kind of powers. You'll be able to feel nature, speak to the birds, cast out bad spirits within people. You can see people for who they are. You can have straight, crazy psychic ability to the future and all these other things. God consciousness is the consciousness that God Enoch has saw. He elevated himself to God consciousness. He was able to see himself. Okay. He said, I saw myself. I reached God consciousness. They thought he was talking about God himself. He said he reached the consciousness of God, which means you do have the power to manipulate nature. Kind of like that movie Lucy, where she reached 100 cerebral of her capacity, her brain capacity. That's kind of what that is, where you're able to manipulate nature and the world and everything. That's having an ability of God. That is the consciousness that's within us. But you have to get over the worship gene, which a lot of people are. They're under the worship gene. They have to worship somebody. You have to pray to somebody. Someone save us. You only can save yourself. Of course, you have to go through a stripping process, and I've been through this stripping process for the past 5 years, but you could definitely feel that God consciousness. That truth is going to be preached. Even if I have to say it myself, it will be preached. And that's when the Vatican is going to fall. Yes, new spirituality is definitely here now. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes, he will have dark skin. That's what he said. The new Pope will have dark skin. I'm not sure if that's true. I don't know. I didn't really follow that whole Pope prophecy real closely. I'm going to be real with you guys. I didn't follow that closely. I really didn't. I'm sorry. I should have, but I didn't. Oh, darn it. Why you tell me I was still small, you guys? I was still small. I'm so sorry. But yes, as I was saying, that is what that means. Consciousness, and I'm going to repeat what I just said so it can be embedded in your brain, okay? Christ consciousness is what Yeshua reached. He reached Christ consciousness, which is just below God consciousness. God is not a person, it's a conscious, okay? God is another conscious. It's the same level as God. It's just a female, whatever. The point of the matter is, that's what the consciousness he reached. He was able to open and have power over all his chakras, which means he was able to see in the future. He was able to change things, change wine into water, walk on water, cast out demons from people, see the future. He was clairvoyant. He had telekinesis. He had all of these abilities. The abilities that certain people have in sections or in columns or in spectrums or in individual whatever. They don't have all the abilities. They just have disability. That person have that ability. He had all of them. That's who Yeshua had. And he had that after he went fasting in the desert for 40 days and ate herbs and things of that nature. Although I'm still questioning how we know that story, but whatever. That's what happens when you go into that really state and that really strict and strategic fasting. I tried to do that and I couldn't, but it does work and you do get a higher consciousness. I mean, it's a lot of things and levels. Once you get to that conscious, you start having nightmares, you start seeing things. It's kind of crazy. So if you can go 40 days and 40 nights, by all means, I couldn't do it. I would try. I went 20 maybe. But you do get that level of consciousness. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so that's what he was able to do. Okay, he was able to tap into his Christ-like consciousness, and that's what he was teaching people, like the energy and the kingdom of God, whatever, is within you. It's not up above. You're not going to see above. You're not going to see it below. It's within you. He tried to teach people that, but and they learned. But then the Roman Catholic and God Almighty was like, you know what? He has to go. Let's kill him. And anybody else who was born around that time, kill him too. He's fucking in my regime. I want people praying to me. He's teaching people to be independent. He has to go. Why would he kill Jesus when Jesus is supposed to be allegedly telling people to praise him? If Jesus, Yeshua, was saying, okay, praise him, he's my father, and in your prayers and God Almighty, why would he then in turn order his people to kill him then and crucify him if he was going along with his quote unquote plan? God Almighty. See? The story contradicts itself. Doesn't make fucking sense. Which means he wasn't teaching what he was teaching. He was teaching independence and spirituality, and God Almighty, ancient identity and Anunnaki identity, God Almighty was teaching to praise me in your prayers in me. So he ordered all them people to be killed. See, the story contradicts. The facts is within the story. Now, when you reach God consciousness, and I'm going to say it again because I want this to be embedded in your brain. When you reach God consciousness, then you'll be able to control matter and people and time and everything. Like the movie Lucy. She reached 100 cerebral of her brain capacity, and she was able to control matter. She was able to go back in time. That's God consciousness. The consciousness God and Enoch reached. Now, I don't know how you reach that consciousness. Don't ask me because I don't know. I have no idea. I'm assuming you have to do a lot of something, and I just don't know. Don't know. And you're able to heal people too, but whatever. The point of the matter is that's what that means. And this truth and spirituality is going to be preached, and that's going to bring the Catholic Church and Christianity down to its knees. Trump will be the last Republican president, not the last president, but the last Republican president. The next 2 years are going to be a fucking nightmare. We're going to be entering chaos. We're going to be entering war. Homelessness is going to be crazy. It's going to be so much drama. It's going to be ridiculous. People are going to think it's the end of the world, but it isn't. The next 2 years is going to be a bitch. So I hope you guys are ready for that, because that's exactly what's going to be. Remember, I told you that if they weren't willing to go into the age of Aquarius willingly with the election of Kamala, then it would be forced. And unfortunately, it always ends in bloodshed and violence. Didn't I say that? I said that. Elon Musk wanted to rig the election, which would have gave us a smooth transition to the age of Aquarius into feminism, free thinking, spirituality. But he rigged the election. So therefore, now it has to go through by violence. But it's going to happen whether they want it or not. It's going to happen. They can't stop it. It's going to happen. Just want to point that out. So let's go ahead and move on to the next section here, okay? Let's talk about the royal family. Now, it seems that Pippa was ousted. Well, Pippa wasn't ousted. Pippa ousted Kate Middleton. It seems that Pippa may have slipped and called out K. Middleton her fake health issues. It says here, well, it looks like Pippa let the cat out of the bag, said Kate wasn't ill in the traditional sense. This explains why nobody really made the effort to visit Kate in hospital, connected the dots, what dark secrets been hidden from the public. So Pippa was interviewed or talked to, or someone talked to her, and I was like, what's going on with your sister? What's going on? She said, well, she wasn't sick in the traditional sense, which means she wasn't sick with cancer or anything of that nature, but she just, was busy. That's what was the tea. I know, it's crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, yes. So people was like, she was basically wasn't sick with cancer. She just couldn't come out. Just saying. And I told you why. I told you allegedly she had an affair with that guy whose name escapes me. And she allegedly was pregnant. And I don't know if she had the baby or not. I don't know. And around the time she stopped being shown was when she was around 3 months, when she was starting the show. And she disappeared for like 6 months, somewhere around there, and reappeared later on after allegedly she had the baby. And the person who she had the baby by was Pippa's ex-boyfriend. Allegedly, this is Kate. Pippa's ex-boyfriend, allegedly, whom apparently she'd been having an affair with for a very long time, who ended up dead from alleged suicide. Now, to throw off the press and the rumors, and probably to make sure the man was dead, guess who went to the funeral? Prince William went to her alleged Mr. Lover's funeral to make it seem like everything's copacetic. And guess who wasn't at this fucking funeral? Kate Middleton wasn't at this fucking funeral. Pippa wasn't at this fucking funeral. But Prince William went to this fucking funeral, more than likely to make sure he was fucking dead. And ever since those rumors were circulating, the relationship, even in public viewage, unless it's rehearsed or majorly forced, between Kate Middleton, and Prince William have not been the same. It's been nothing but drama, and weirdness and awkward. And he looked like he can't even touch this girl. Like touching her makes him sick. Even though allegedly he had an affair with that other chick whose names escape me. Even though he'd been allegedly having an affair since their entire marriage. But you got to understand, when it comes to the British monarchy, the men are allowed to have affairs. The women aren't. Remember, the late Queen Elizabeth and her husband, Prince Philip, messed around throughout the entire marriage. Throughout the entire marriage, he messed around. Even I think allegedly he got a girl knocked up too. But Elizabeth, when the stories got leaked to the media, she was forced to do a public appearance with his fucking mistress just to die down the rumors. So people wondered why Prince Philip, the late Prince Philip, and the late Queen Elizabeth weren't holding hands anymore. It wasn't because she didn't want her husband touching her because of decorum, because she didn't want him fucking touching her. He was fucking this person and fucking that person, and then she has to be happy and smiling with this bitch in front of the cameras so he can, get out of the press. This is what Queen Elizabeth did. So it went from them holding hands or whatever the case may be to you stay your ass over there. I don't want to fucking touch you. That's why. It wasn't because it was decorum. It's no decorum for them not to hold hands. It's okay for them to hold hands. It's nothing in the rule books for that. But remember, the men are allowed to cheat. The women aren't. The men don't wear wedding rings. The women has to wear their wedding rings because the men are the men. This is how fucking barbaric and egotistical and sexist that monarchy and old fashioned it is. William don't even wear a wedding ring. Everything got broken and pretty much turned over on his head when Meghan Markle and Prince William broke tradition by so many fucking barriers, it pissed them off. Not only was she half black and descendant of Queen Scott, but she also they agreed for for Prince Harry to, if I said William before, I'm sorry, if Prince Harry to get a wedding ring, and he wore a wedding ring, which is something his family never did. So it was so many traditions broken thanks to Meghan Markle, and you wonder why they hate her. That's why. Prince William, not Prince William, I keep saying Prince William, sorry. Prince Harry wears a wedding ring. Okay? Among other things. They didn't do that whole kneeling bullshit. Things were just different. It was different. Now Prince William he don't know if he want to stay married to this woman or fake it like he saw his mother, his late mother, and his dad do for years. Should I fake it or should I divorce her? I don't know. So he's stuck between a hard place. I'll divorce him and be like, the hell with this bullshit. I'm not going to be faking I love this woman. Fuck that. It's over. That's what I would do. But I don't know. Who knows? I would divorce her and not plan some freaking car accident like they allegedly did with the late Queen Diana. Like I say Queen Diana. The late Princess Diana. I won't fake that shit because that's way too far. But we talking about Prince William here. He don't think like his brother Prince Harry. He thinks kind of dark. I mean, he's seriously dark. He's something wrong with this man, I'm telling you. Remember, he does he don't mind doing that. He don't mind, yelling at you and cussing you out either. So that's Prince William. He don't mind and pushing you and stuff. He don't mind that shit or smacking you. He don't mind that. Trust me, he don't mind that. Allegedly. I'm just saying. So moving right along here. Now, remember, the Middleton family is allegedly no better than the Markle family. Even though the Markle family, well, the Caucasian side of the family, went on some kind of publicity smear campaign against Meghan Markle, but the Middletons are not peachy fucking king, okay? They are just as scandalous and just as brutal and just as dirty. Listen to this.
Prince William's relationship with Kate Middleton's parents has always been warm, but recent events have brought unexpected twists to their bond. From defending Carol Middleton against harsh criticism to finding a mother figure in her, William's connection with his in-laws has evolved over the years. However, as family dynamics shift, including Catherine's health challenges and growing tensions with King Charles III, the future king's reliance on the Middletons has taken center stage, shaping his personal and royal life like never before. Prince William defended Carol Middleton against classist criticism. Prince William's bond with his in-laws, Carol and Michael Middleton, has always been strong, but it was truly tested when Carol became the target of classist attacks during his early relationship with Catherine Middleton. Carol Middleton, who came from a working-class family and grew up in public housing, was observed by the media and members of William's inner circle for her background. Critics labeled her as unrefined and unsuitable painting. Her training was improper for someone tied to the royal family. These attacks reportedly irritated William, who saw them as an unfair smear campaign against Catherine's family. A source close to the prince revealed that William was horrified by the comments circulating about Carol. He believed they were rooted in pride and mischief-making, dismissing them as unnecessary and deeply hurtful. His protective nature came to the apex, and he made it clear that he wouldn't tolerate any disrespect toward the Middletons. At the time, William and Catherine's relationship faced additional challenges, including a temporary breakup in 2007, while some speculated that outside pressures, including the classist remarks about Carol, played a role in the split. William's loyalty to the Middletons never wavered. He refused to let public opinion or exclusive expectations dictate his relationship, standing by them as a family unit. Carol's resilience in the face of such criticism also strengthened her bond with William. Despite the judgment she faced, Carol remained a constant source of support for both William and Catherine, offering them a sense of normalcy and stability. Her role as a nurturing figure in William's life deepened his admiration for her, particularly after the loss of his own mother, Princess Diana. William's defense of Carol Middleton wasn't just about protecting his in-laws, and it was a reflection of his values. His actions demonstrated his rejection of outdated classist views and his commitment to standing up for those he loves and cementing the Middletons as an integral part of his life. Carol Middleton's secret meeting with William led to his proposal. Behind the fairy tale romance of Prince William and Catherine Middleton lies a pivotal moment involving Carol Middleton and Catherine's mother that helped shape their future as a royal couple. In 2009,
After years of dating and public analysis, Carol reportedly grew concerned that William had yet to propose to her daughter. Catherine, often dubbed Weighty Katie by the press.
Anyway, I'm getting bored with that story. So basically what happened was the Middleton family did not come from riches. They were working class people. They were probably poorer than freaking Meghan Markle's family, to be honest. But you don't hear about that in the media. They think they call them, you know, upstanding families and whatever the hell else. And they always talking about and lynching Meghan Markle's side of the family and uprising Kate family. And that's not true. That is definitely not true. Everyone's called Kate Middleton a opportunist, and she studied the late Princess Diana to the T, her clothes, mannerism, and everything. She knew exactly what to do to get William. It was also alleged that William did not want to marry her. He was pressured to marry her because if he wanted to be king, he had to get married because the late Queen Elizabeth didn't want to give the crown to her son, Charles. She wanted, actually, she was kind of contemplating whether giving it to Harry or William. But William got married. Well, he was pressured to get married. He really didn't want to marry her. He didn't really want to get married anyway. But it is what it is. He married Kate, who was basically trained to be a princess, so to speak. She knew exactly what the fuck she was doing. Even though back in the day, Kate was known as, a lot of things, and it wasn't class. She was a party animal. She likes to drink, and she was not. Let's just say between her and Meghan Markle has way more class than her. I'm just gonna put it out there. But anyway, don't let the UK media hear me say that because they're swerving down the opposite. But that's pretty much what it was. Let's move on from this story. I have another story for you guys. Let's move on to stories that I was actually not even trying to talk about, but there seems to have been some story that I am just so freaked out about. Yeah. Did you guys hear about this story with Shannon Sharpe? Please tell me you heard about this sick fucking story. Oh my gosh. Seriously, you guys? I am seriously flabbergasted here. Did y'all hear about Shannon Sharpe and what was going on? Oh, yeah, and absolutely, Tiny. Queen Elizabeth, the whole monarchy, yes. Before they came along, the rulers of England was black. Yes, they were black up until like the 1700s, and that's when they whitewashed it. That was during the whitewashing of everything at that time. But before then, the London was ruled by black kings and queens. But they went back and painted some of the portraits and things of these prior kings to I believe King George or King something. I forgot what king it was that came along before him. They started painting them people white and putting white hair on them, but they were actually black kings and queens before this family and their ancestors came along. That's absolutely correct, Tanya. Absolutely. But what I need for you guys to understand is that there has been some drama following Shannon Sharpe. Did you guys hear about that? Yeah, I know. Where did you hear from, Alicia? I know you heard from some channel, I'm sure. Because I'm sure another channel have covered this. I mean, I wouldn't put it past channel. But boy. I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm going to be real. I knew it. I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know. And I'm sure TMZ is going to try to make sure that it isn't true because they seem to go behind whatever story I post and try to make me seem like a liar or unresearcher or wrong about a lot of things. and I don't like being wrong, especially when I know I'm correct. But if I am wrong and you prove that I'm wrong, that's great. Thanks for correcting me. But if I am correct and you just saying I'm wrong because of your research that manipulated the truth, that pisses me off. That I don't like at all. That pisses me off to the fullest. Okay? And I'm going to be real about that. But apparently, and we're going to move on here because the show is getting definitely long, but I still have some videos here. This is where the part of my live show is going to get very, very dirty. I have to prepare myself for this part of the story because it's disgusting. It seemed like Shannon Sharpe had just been sued for allegedly raping a woman multiple occasions. And the plaintiff in the case is asking for tens of millions of damages. This is per TMZ. The lawsuit obtained by TMZ, who seems to always have these lawsuits and these stories, obtained by TMZ Sports, was filed by a Jane Doe on Sunday in Nevada after she says Sharpe brutally sexually assaulted her several times. Oh, Willie D. Yeah, he seemed to have a lot of stories too. I don't like Billy D. Assaulted her several times at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025, following a years-long abusive relationship. According to the suit, Doe met Sharpe in 2023 at a gym in Los Angeles when she was 20 years old, and he was in his mid-50s. So he was 50, this old MF, if this story is true, and she was only 20. So he liked young girls. He don't like girls his age, apparently. She stated in the docs during their first encounter, Sharpe told her he would buy her fake whatever if she won a weight loss competition with him. Well, titties. He said he'd buy her some fake titties if she won a weight loss competition with him. She wrote in the suit, Sharpe proceeded to pursue her relentlessly, calling her, texting, and demanding she come to his Beverly Glen mansion. The woman stated she and the former Denver Broncos tight end ultimately got into a consensual relationship. She admitted the relationship at the time was consensual, though she described it as controlling and verbally abusive. Honey, when a guy that age is getting with a 20-year-old, they're going to always act like a father figure / boyfriend / whatever. Trust me, I know. I mean, look at Cassie and Diddy. It's always, if the age gap is that far apart, that's how the relationship is going to be. It's not going to be no consensual Bill Cosby and Claire. It's not going to be any of that stuff. It's going to be completely him dominating you, controlling you, and treating you like a daughter / side piece or fuck buddy or something. That's what it's going to be. Hey, when they be talking daddy like it's sexual. Hey, daddy. I hate that. Stop using that. It's so disgusting. Using daddy in sexual way. This is why we have this shit going on right now, if this is true. Though she described it as controlling and verbally abusive, he demanded complete control over her time and body. Now, this is from Tony Busby, who annoyed me, and he ignored my suit that I tried to file with him. Conveniently, around the time that he dropped all the Jay-Z suits, he completely ignored me and never returned my phone calls, him and his secretary, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, attorney Tony Busby wrote in Doe's suit expecting her to be at his house on his schedule at his command whenever he called. This is what older dudes to young girls. They like to control them. And girls who are confused to be loyal like a daughter / girlfriend sometimes follow. And I'm speaking from personal experience. Doe claimed there was one argument in particular that terrified her when he yelled at her while a firearm was visible in the room. So he's shooting off his firearm like, you do what I say, with his gun and stuff, even though he's big as fuck and he don't even need a gun, if this is true. Why even need a gun? You like big as a freaking gorilla, and she probably this puny 20-year-old, and you should be ashamed of your fucking self if this is true. Why even bother with a gun? So the plaintiff tried sharing her location with her friends from her iPhone just in case, the doc states. But Sharpe saw her doing this. The moment he realized what she was doing, he grabbed her by the neck, told her, if you ever do that again, I will fucking kill you. The two nevertheless continued their relationship, even following a move by, why does these ex-football players are violent? I think because they get hit in the head so fucking much, and whatever they take in, just make them crazy. I would never date a football player, especially a tight end or someone who get hits all the time. Hells to the fucking no. Nope. I will run for the fucking hills. If you need to marry a football player, marry someone who don't get hit, like a quarterback or something, or catcher or whatever. They get hit too, don't they? Just don't marry these kind of brothers because they are just crazy as fuck. I'm just telling you. Even following a move by both to Nevada during the summer of 2024. Yeah, so he was violent, allegedly. Now, however, Doe states in her suit she attempted to break things off. Please, he's 50-some years old, and she's 20. He's already whipped already. He's not trying to let her go. Hell to the no. His fantasies are all fulfilled. He's seeing her as possession now. That's how these old, perverted, horny fucks do. They see you as possession. It's hard to detach from that reality once they get it in their hands. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't. Seriously, it's crazy. Now, she attempted to break things off after her infamous. Now, here's the thing that I was so flabbergasted. Are you guys listening to me? You guys remember that leaked audio of him having intercourse with someone? Y'all remember that, right? Put in the comment section if you remember that. Why you didn't tell me I had that up there? Sorry. I keep forgetting that. You guys remember that leaked audio of him having intercourse with someone? Y'all remember that leaked audio, right? Y'all remember that? And the girl sounded really muffled. Put in the comment section if you remember that leaked audio from Shannon Sharpe of him having intercourse with someone, and I'll give you guys a little background of what that audio was. Okay, apparently this audio was not willingly sex. It was an audio that she leaked, not him. She leaked on his phone. I'm not sure how it got done, of him raping her. That was an audio, live stream audio of him raping her. That's what it was. So that live feed was him raping her, allegedly. Now, Doe claimed in her suit that the first incident happened in October of 2024 at her apartment. She said the 56-year-old pro football Hall of Famer forced himself on her while she was crying and sobbing. So that audio was audio of him raping her. The little muffled, the whatever the fuck it was, I didn't want to listen to it. He was raping her. That wasn't consensual. It was him raping her. Now, the second instance, the suit alleges happened a few weeks later in January of 2025. Doe claims Sharpe came over to her house with promises of delivering Christmas and birthday gifts to her, but instead, this horny person, allegedly, again, remember, his fantasies fulfilled in this young, petite girl, I'm assuming, so he's not going to let her go. He's already obsessed, and football players, some of them are crazy as fuck anyway. So, considering how big he is and small she is, he feels that that's his possession. He can do whatever he wants, like a bull sex doll or something. But instead, he violently sexually assaulted her once more. Now, she's suing for over $50 million. It takes a great deal of courage, I must say, to stand up against those with power, fame, and money, Busby said in a statement after filing the suit on Doe's behalf. And he said he looked forward to pressing the case. But we know TMZ, they're going to try to denounce this whole fucking story because they don't like Tony Busby, thanks to Jay-Z weaseling his way out of his fucking suit. So we know TMZ, instead of trying to find out if his story is true, they're going to side with Shannon, and they're going to make Tony Busby look like shit. And then we're going to hear all the little hoes in the story. Blah, 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 and Shannon Sharpe is going to get away scot clean, and you're going to find another young, stupid-ass fucking girl. If this story is true, I don't know. But just saying, watch. Just watch. Because Tony Busby's name has already been slandered thanks to Jay-Z and his sidekick, criminal lawyer Alice Burrow. So trust me, this case is probably not going to go anywhere. I'm just going to be real here. Just saying. Now, Kanye West and his crazy ass. Kanye West is claiming he and now incarcerated male cousins sexual experimented with each other. Yes, this is what Kanye West is saying. He's saying he and now incarcerated male cousin sexually experimented with each other when they were kids. An experience he's turned into a song. So he and his horny, hormonal, puberty cousin experiment with each other. Cousin mean male. Experiment with each other. And he is turning it into a song. You heard that correctly, ladies and gentlemen. Believing it contributed to both of their dark past. So he's saying it contributed to his sex addiction and his issues. So all those photographs I have in my archives, and him in the studio with dildos and all kinds of shit with freaking Diddy and Jay-Z and other rappers that I don't really recognize, was all in the studio, including JD. That means Jermaine Dupri. I thought was just a joke, but apparently it's something he's down with. So that means Amber Rose, who said that Kanye West like it, must have been telling the truth. Okay, this makes sense. All right, moving right along here. So yeah, this is what horny Kanye West said. He's debuting a new grungy song called Cousins. He said this, and I'm reading verbatim. This song is called Cousins, about my cousin that's locked in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady. He seemed to be siding with criminals, apparently. Remember, he sided with Diddy, who is a serial rapist, trafficker, woman beater, drug dealer, and hell, amongst other freaking things Diddy is. And anyone who else was friends with him years and years are probably that as well. They just get away with it and are getting away with it. So he said his cousin, whom he's calling out, even though he killed the pregnant lady. I think you guys need to start seeing Kanye West for who he is. And it's not the good, wholesome man you think this motherfucker is. He's crazy as fuck. Now, he's siding with his cousin that's locked up for killing a pregnant lady. Let that sit. A few years after, he said he told him he wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6, and then we acted it out what we saw. So his mother apparently had these homosexual magazines in her house, and I'm still questioning about that. Like, why in the fuck do his mother have these homosexual magazines in her house? Is this when she was with his father? Did his dad have these homosexual magazines hidden in his little, I don't know, chest or drawer or something? Because that's what it seemed like to me. I think Kanye West's daddy was a back door. He was a little undercover homosexual who likes to look at homosexual magazines. Those magazines did not belong to his mother. And I'm just going to put that out there. Just a second, you guys. I'm going to put that out there. So he said when he was 6, he acted out this stuff. Let me go back to that. Let's go back to that. Oh, see, I didn't even read the rest. I'm reading this whole thing new as we speak. And look at this. It says right here, my dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found in the top of my mom's closet were different. Yeah. So that means his dad had homosexual magazines. So he said he sucked his cousin's, you know what? until he was 14 years old. So in this picture, when he was 14 years old, he was bisexual. That means Kanye West is a bisexual man. There you have it. So apparently this Bianca, who apparently is a nudist that I've learned, has turned him all the way fucking out. His nose is so open. He's out there. He's gone. He's gone. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, horny Kanye, after he, did all this, he gave dude apparently a shout out during the 2018 interview. This boy who he was in love with and he had sexual intercourse with. He gave this man a shout out during a 2018 interview when asked about Trump's first president. He said, and I quote, this is what Kanye West said about his childhood male lover. He said, my cousin is locked up for murder and I love him. So who gives a goddamn if this man killed his pregnant wife? He still love him. And y'all still think Kanye West is a good man. I'm sorry. What in that description describes him being a good man? Explain that shit to me. So he said, and I quote, while he was on a Jimmy Kimmel show back in 2018, he said, and I quote, my cousin is locked up for murder and I love him. So he did a bad thing, but I still love him. He did a bad thing. He killed a fucking pregnant lady and he called it a bad thing. A bad thing is like, oh my gosh, I robbed a convenience store or I hit a person, I don't know, car or some shit like that. Or I robbed a ATM or some just minor crap like that. That's a bad thing. This motherfucker killed somebody. He making it so minimalism and so simplistic. Who cares? And y'all still think Kanye West is a good person. I told you guys during the age of Aquarius, we're going to start seeing people who they were. Didn't I say that? I said during the age of Aquarius, we're going to start seeing people who they were. They're going to start telling themselves. I told you guys that shit. People in the comment section, I'm this sign and I'm not telling the truth. I'm not here speaking all of this. Lynch me in the comment section. Later in 2020, Kim K was helping spearhead the Frederick Douglass Project for Justice and shared Yee's cousin plight with Georgetown University professor Mark Howard. So Kim K knew about Kanye homosexual activities. She knew. She knew all about it. So she shared this with university professor Mark Howard, highlighting how Yee's aunt was forced to accept the consequences from living in her downwritten or rotten Chicago neighborhood. Yee also says he's changing his WW3 album titled to Cook, which is cock or whatever. And he's spoken like a true Gemini, which means he's definitely showing who he is. Which means Kanye is saying that he's bisexual. So I'm sure him and Diddy probably fucked, maybe Jay-Z too. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. But here's a video right here of Kim talking to this Mark person. Oh, just a second. It's not playing. Let's see why the bottom was not on here. Oh, there.
I've written and produced.
How we bind others to exist in the darkness, restricted to remain in our collective shadow. What becomes of one whom we prohibit from the kiss of the sun?
I'm sorry, I'm not interested in this. I'm sorry. But she basically, brings up that subject. I'll go ahead and leave the link below. Y'all can watch that. I want to get on with the show. The show's been going on long enough, and I'm just not in the mood to talk about that right now. I still haven't ate my dinner. What was the question? Let me put that up there. You said I got another question. Is because of what's been going on in the latest news. Is that it? What would you say? Or is it just because of what's going on in the world and how the laws are actually physically changing right before our eyes, sitting back in your seat? Yeah. It's definitely a lot going on here. Okay, last but not least, the story of, first let me say this, if you or anyone else have suffered from sexual assault or anything of the nature, call that number right there on the screen, screenshot that, or you can call me. My number is below. I will be glad to help you, but please do not stay silent. Stay safe. Okay, moving right along here. Now, it seems that Justin Bieber was looking pretty rough during the week 2 of Coachella, at least according to some fans who view videos of him partying up. It seems like, just check out this footage, you guys. Let me know what you guys think about this. Look, he's smoking weed and shit. He got no shirt on. He's acting like he high and crap. Look at him. Okay, so he just openly smoking weed. There's probably lace. Where is Hailey Bieber? Oh, I'm not done yet. There's more. Apparently, as he was, sitting on stage, smoking weed or whatever. Okay. Apparently, the same thing, Friday nights, it says a private party, but the cameras captured JB from far away so you can get a good look. Take a listen to this. Look. So this is in far away. We already saw the close-up picture right there. See? He's sitting on the speaker, looking high as hell. You see that shit, right? So I don't understand why Justin Bieber bothered even being around these freaking types of people. What is wrong with this fucking guy? And look at him. He's openly smoking weed. He got his shirt off. He's the only one with his shirt off. No one's walking around with their shirt off. He got his fucking shirt off. Okay. Look at him. Are you seeing this right now? The man has lost it. I don't know what's going on with him and Hailey Bieber. Hailey Bieber, save yourself. Go. Run for the hills. Wash your hands of this shit. I know you came in obsessed with this man and obsessed with Selena Gomez or whatever that fucking story is. Girl, we moved on from that shit. That's past news. You need to move on from him, or you're going to be brought down with this motherfucker, okay? Go. Run. Divorce him. No offense. I don't mean to break up no marriage, but no. Justin Bieber, something wrong with him. Something wrong with him, I'm telling you. I don't know what happened with the D situation, but something wrong with this man. He needs to seek counseling. He needs to go to rehab, and he needs a spiritual something. Something wrong. Ever since this Diddy shit started popping up, he's been popping up with live feeds and acting like a crazy person. And then you got Kanye West losing his fucking mind. The only person who's not losing their mind, well, we don't know if he's losing his mind because he's hiding right now, is Jay-Z. We don't know what the fuck Jay-Z is doing. He come out occasionally with his kids and stuff and make his appearance or whatnot or whatever former event, take pictures with the wifey and the kids and yap with that. We don't know what the fuck's going on with them. But this here is crazy. Hailey Bieber, goodbye, run for the fucking hills. And I'm done with this entire fucking story. I was going to get into a whole prologue. I don't want to care. I don't care. I just don't care. Now, who is Mr. Raphael Sadiq brother? Who is that, Andrew? Who is that? I don't even know who that is. A lot of people have passed. I can't keep track of everybody, you guys. I mean, that's too much to keep track of. Anyway, he said he's a singer who sing is that anniversary. Oh, okay. Well, my condolences to him. All right, so I'm going to move out. I'm out of here. Thanks for staying through the duration of this video. Remember, stay safe, especially these next 2 years. They're saying a prophecy. The Vatican is supposed to be destroyed by 2027. That's 2 years from now. I think it's going to be destroyed a lot sooner than that. Time zones has changed and been manipulated. So I think we're kind of maybe 2 years behind. I think it's going to happen sooner than that. So make sure you stay safe and learn your spirituality, learn your power within yourself. Do not drop to your knees worshiping anyone. Worship yourself and you, not this divine God who's micro watching you and answering your prayers. A man, at least. No, worship yourself. Find the power within yourself. Once you do that, everything you want will be manifested, and that's the truth. Have a great night. Excuse me. Here's a brief word from my sponsor.
The world's falling apart. Every day, another shocking headline makes you wonder what tomorrow will bring. That's why those who knows what's coming are using today to prepare. I'm talking about getting your family some high-quality emergency food from My Patriot Supply. My Patriot Supply is a nation's leading preparedness company. They've been in business for going on 14 years now, and they serve millions of American families. Now they want to help you by giving you $50 off their popular 4-week emergency food kit. Oh yes, you get 4 weeks of food per person with meals designed to give you more than 2,000 calories a day. By the way, this food stays fresh up to 25 years in proper storage, so it will be there when you need it. Other food goes bad first, you know what I mean? So don't wait. Go to Prepare with my link with the truth and claim your 4-week emergency food kit. You will save $50 per kit if you act now. So prepare with me at preparewithtruth.com. Don't wait. Do it today, y'all.